Hey everybody, welcome to What's Up Wednesday. I apologize in advance for my voice, but I've got the crud for the first time in over 2 years since the beginning of the pandemic. Today I want to talk not about physical health, but I want to talk a little bit about mental health. Mental health is obviously a major pandemic of sorts of itself in the United States. Last week I touched on our What's Up Wednesday on personal security and safety when somebody with mental health issues came into our building and brought violence with him. So, I want to talk a little bit about the issues related to mental health and also suicide, and specifically in the construction industry. Now, I know that in the past I've mentioned that there are major campaigns being launched by associations like the Associated General Contractors, ASSP, American Society of Safety Professionals, National Safety Council, to create an awareness around mental health. And when we look at suicide often results from mental health issues. It might be anxiety, depression, it may be other things. Clinically, there are a million different reasons for it, but regardless, it's a really big deal and it's all around us and we don't realize it. So, I want to talk a little bit about some things that we can do, some resources that are available, and then also some statistics. So, I'm in Washington State, and every single year at the end of the year or following the end of the year, we have statistics on construction fatalities. In the last few years, our fatality numbers have been up, but generally speaking, about a third of our fatalities in the construction industry in the state of Washington have been mental health and or suicide related. That is in the workplace. That's drug overdose, that's suicide. It's a major, major issue. And there are a lot of reasons for it. I mean, the construction industry is a tough sector to work in. I've done the work myself physically. It takes a toll on you. You're outside, you're in the elements. And I don't know what the contributing factors are so much to why it has the highest suicide and mental health rates within all the different industries that they measure, but it is of significant concern. So, some of the things that we can do is maybe just little things like reaching out and asking people how they're doing. And don't do it in passing. Hey, man, how are you? Ask and say, how are you today? How are things going at home? Ask some questions to find out, because a lot of times people aren't going to say, I'm feeling down, I'm depressed, I have anxiety. They're not going to offer those things up. So we have to solicit them, and we also have to do so in a manner where we make it safe for them to tell us the truth. And you can usually see in the nonverbal response, as well as sometimes what they say, if they're off just a little bit. And when they do, we need to probe a little deeper and ask some questions and then be able to offer different resources. Most companies have employee assistance programs, and within those programs, they have benefits for counseling and other types of resources necessary for mental health. So, this is again a really, really big deal. It's all around us, whether you see it or not, and all of us can do a part to help one another. And it's good for our mental health too, even if we don't suffer from anxiety or depression or other issues. It's good for us to talk to people about these things, because it keeps us healthy, it keeps us strong. So, some of the resources out there that we wrote down that people can turn to. Obviously, there are a lot of different online counselors. BetterHelp.com is a great one. Talkspace.com. And one was presented to me last week that was really neat, called ManTherapy.com. And again, these are just a few of many, many resources for mental health related types of issues that we can look to, we can turn to, we can recommend. So think about this. If you do one thing differently in the next week, find a person or two each day, ask them how they're doing and how their family's doing and how things are going in their life, and see how that turns out for you. Hopefully this is helpful, and we will see you next Wednesday.